What is up, guys and gals? Welcome to episode number 164 of the Nonsense Review. That's right, we have the same amount of episodes as Baseball Talk has baseball cards.
Oh boy, I think that's actually kind of cool.
It is. Do you even know what that is?
No.
That's what I thought. It was a baseball set that came out in 1989. A baseball card set by Topps Cards, because it's always Topps fucking cards.
So yeah, it's always Topps Cards. Yeah, like, I've heard of baseball cards. So yeah, there we go.
Alrighty, on that bombshell, we're going to do an episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, we are. The latest one on Disney Plus, available to us in the UK right now. You'll be able to pick that up when we get into it.
Yeah, it's season 34, episode 22. You know, obviously, because you're part of the show, but those of you who are new to the show probably don't know, we like to talk about our weeks and the goings-on in the wide world before we actually get to the meat of the review. So with that in mind, Rick, how's your week been, buddy?
We talked about The Simpsons because we're doing it today. There is also a very recent episode of The Simpsons which is not available on Disney Plus. In this, Larry the Barfly dies.
Who's Larry the Barfly?
So, he's the one...
Okay, sorry. I thought you meant a literal fly, and then it just clicked, and I went, oh, right, I forgot.
Yeah, there's two barflies that show up as essentially background characters in quite a lot of the bar episodes or bar scenes in The Simpsons. Larry is one of them. He's the one that looks a bit like a super beta Homer.
Yeah, the one without the glasses.
Yeah, the one without the glass.
Larry looks like a character that, well, because it's probably correct, has been a thing since the Tracy Ullman shorts.
Yeah. He looks like someone from the opening in early seasons where characters could be like really unfinished looking.
Yeah.
But basically he's apparently he's only ever had 2 speaking roles, and they were basically just like monosyllabic words in the entire series. And yeah, he's dead now. And the bar crew go on an adventure to take his ashes somewhere because Marge chews them out for all being terrible friends. Especially Lenny out of nowhere.
It's a shame because that's actually a pretty decent. It would have been a really nice plot if they'd have just gone, look, we may not have spoken that much, but we always hung out with him, so we're going to do this because he didn't have anyone else. And instead, you're like, Marge pushes them to do it because Marge is always morally superior than everyone else in the show.
Yeah, this is after they have a really awkward bit at the funeral where the guy's mother is there, talks about how he always talked about them, so she thinks that they're all his best friends, and they all just have to get up and vamp for a little bit at the funeral about how he liked this and how he liked that, which, massively awkward. But yes, that's the entire episode spoiled. The US has passed their TikTok ban.
This thing bothers me a lot, Rick, because I don't like TikTok. I don't use it. I don't have it on my phone. It's not because it's spyware. It's because it rots your brain. Literally, it's been scientifically proven to fuck up your attention span. But the reason why America's banned it is obviously they're like, this is Chinese spyware, and they shouldn't be able to spy on US citizens. They ignore Apple and Google.
And their answer to that is to ban it unless it can be sold to a US part of an American company.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So they have no problem with it being spyware, they just want to be in control of it.
A lot of people don't realise their device is spying on them, and the people who do realise their device is spying on them is like, I don't care, because I've got nothing worth spying on.
Yeah, well, I think someone once put it, I think it was Snowden actually, that if people saying they don't care about spying because they've got nothing to hide are the same people that say they don't care about freedom of speech because they've got nothing to say.
Here's the thing, Rick, if you have an online presence, you're being spied on.
Oh, yes.
So there's very little you can do apart from going off the grid, and I can't live like that.
Yeah, as soon as you have an account for anything, that company is tracking everything that you do as best as it can because its data on you is more valuable than your custom. The other things is that Cybertrucks, something else wrong has gone wrong with them. So the 2 things that I've seen very recently is they can't go in car washes.
Why?
Partially because of rust, and partially because the computer systems get shorted out permanently.
How? Are they so poorly designed that water gets into the circuits?
Yep. They also... There's such a small window in the back that you basically have to open the boot to be able to see when you're reversing. And the last one was a recall of all Cybertrucks for a manufacturing oversight that stopped people being able to not take their foot off the accelerator, but stops the accelerator being depressed.
Oh, yeah, that's a big problem.
Yeah. All of them had this manufacturing defect. If you put the accelerator down too hard, it would stay down, and you could not get it back up.
Is it not a sad state of affairs, Rick, when real-life billionaire can't come up with a car better than Homer Simpson's.
And I don't know how many people have been like seriously harmed by this, but the one who has been harmed in his pride is Elon, who's had to swallow the fact that less than 4,000 of them have been sold worldwide, despite his legions of simps. With that said, I have started 2 games. Number 1 is Dark Souls Archthrones, which I am just so surprised at how they've managed to remix old areas to make them look both so amazingly good and feel so fresh.
Yeah, this is the second Dark Souls 3 mod you've turned me towards. I haven't booted it up yet, but I've downloaded all the necessary files, so I've just got to set it up.
Takes quite a long time because it basically does all the downloads inside the game for you.
That makes sense. Yeah, I downloaded the zip and I had to re-download Dark Souls 3, so I've just got to follow the README and set it up. But once it's set up, I'll give it a little bit of a glance and then we'll try and do a co-op run, I guess.
Yeah, I've done very little because I'm like, oh man, this is actually something special. I'll get the guys in on it if we can, and you're the only one that so far that's bitten. I've not had new Souls game feel since Elden Ring, and even then you have to walk a long way to get the new Souls game actual feel of the actual dungeons and things like that. So yeah, this is going to be something special, I can tell. The other one that I've started is Jedi Fallen Order.
Ah, yes. So you're really on a Souls binge lately.
Yeah, and my note for this is, fuck me, it looks amazing.
It did look very good, and I've got to be honest with you, the prologue felt good when I played it. I just got really fucking annoyed very quickly when you fight a creature on a planet that you have to hit multiple times with your lightsaber, like loads of times, because your lightsaber can't penetrate its flesh, and it's like, why are we not making armor out of this thing then?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Why are we not making everything out of this creature, and I assume other creatures in future, because this is not going to be the last one that's a tanky Dark Souls boss.
Well, Rick, there's a canon monster that appears in the Star Wars universe that we see multiple times, cannot resist a lightsaber slash, and yet...
Yeah, like, even a Rancor just...
There you go, you got it.
Yeah. Even a Rancor just goes like, yeah. I don't like having my leg chopped off.
It's one of those things where, yes, I've had a go at someone for this before, and I get it. If I play a video game as a Jedi or a guy wielding a lightsaber, I want to kill things in one hit.
Yeah.
Which is why the prologue felt great, because you're against stormtroopers, and you're allowed to do that.
Yeah, the only things you don't kill in one hit, well, okay, the stormtroopers with batons, because they're a tutorial on how to use the lightsaber against things that don't die in one hit, because they die in 3 hit, is the Inquisitor at the end of the tutorial, and even that is just, yeah, here is a tutorial on, oh yes, you also can block and dodge in combat. But yeah, that's pretty much where I got to. Passed the tutorial, and then went, cool, this is neat, I'm going to enjoy my time with this. But that's it from me. How about you? What have you seen out in the wide world?
Alrighty, Rick, I have a big backlog of shit to watch on Netflix, so this is going to be a theme for at least the next few weeks while I'm trying to dig through and actually watch some stuff and tick it off.
Oakley do.
So I've watched 2 things this week. The first is something you might be able to relate to.
Okay.
I watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always.
Once and Always, okay.
It's the one-off special thing they did 30 years after the original.
Right, okay.
You know this, Rick, I know this. The original Yellow Ranger is deceased.
Yes.
They kill her off in-universe.
Oh, man.
The original Red and Pink Ranger clearly did not sign on to this project because they don't show up. I mean, they show up, but they're in their uniforms and don't talk.
Sure.
So we get Rocky and Kat as the Red Ranger and Pink Ranger a bit later on. It's interesting to see older Power Rangers. It was nice. The acting was shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it really fucking hurt. The storyline was shit, and it really fucking hurt because they're like, Trini's in-universe daughter ends up becoming the new Yellow Power Ranger, and it's so ham-fisted and corny. And there's a moment where she straight up blames the Blue Ranger for Trini's death and says, this is all your fault. And I'm like, fuck this kid.
Yeah.
Why are you expecting me to get behind her when she's doing that to my boy Billy?
Yeah, they're also skipping over Aisha, who was the second Yellow Ranger anyway. But yeah, I understand.
Oh, don't worry, because there's a second Black Ranger as well, because we know that's Bosch.
Johnny Young Bosch, yeah.
They're in deep space, Rick. So they appear in the movie, because it's about 54 minutes long, but they appear on the computer screen, and they don't actually transform into their Rangers, but they do appear.
Yeah, fair enough.
Aisha and... Oh, fuck, what's the Black Ranger's name? Second
Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, yeah, is the trio.
Okay, cool. And yeah, we all know about Kat, because she used to be a cat alien. I can't remember that story. It was so fucking weird.
She wasn't even an alien, she was just Australian.
But yeah, it's weird because I kind of hated this, but there's enough nostalgia within it. When the nostalgia hits, it hits fucking hard, and I'm just smiling and going, "Ah, I remember Power Rangers."
Yeah.
And then it really hits you at the end. They do a little closing song. There's a flashback to original bike. Oh, we get a shot of Bulk and Skull. They don't appear in the actual show, but they've taken over some sort of business in Angel Grove, so they've got their faces plastered onto a billboard.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it hits you in the fucking emotional balls at the end because it cuts back to a really old episode of Kimberly playing the guitar and all the gang around, and they're having a little sing-song, and then it just cuts to two greyscaled photos of, I don't know the actress's name, I've forgotten, but Trini and David Jason Frank.
Yeah, Tui Trang.
That's the one. And it just says, to our fallen friends, once a ranger, always a ranger. And I swear to God, I nearly fucking cried because I'm like, oh, fuck, that stings.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't watch it and react with you because I don't think I'd have been able to hold it back.
Acting role for Moxie as well because he voices Alpha.
Oh, man, yeah.
And it's very definitely him. I was like, that sounds like Moxie. I have to look it up. I've forgotten the chap's name, but if it wasn't for Haluva Boss, I would have called him Invader Zim.
Yeah, Richard Horvitz.
That's the one. Also sounds suspiciously like he voiced Rita, but I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Yeah, that's Lahal. That's Barbara Goodson usually.
But yeah, obviously the actor for Rita never, I don't think ever appeared in the Western one. It was always clips from the original Sentai show. So to get around that, Rita is dead in canon, and this is Robo Rita.
Robo Rita.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
I
boy.
love it. But yeah, the other film I watched, a film called The Green Book. It was set in the 60s, based on a true story about a black pianist who had a concert tour to play in the deep south of America, so he needed someone to help getting to and from shows. So he ended up picking up basically a borderline mobster.
Okay. Yeah, well, you need someone dangerous.
Yeah, that's pretty much the logic. But it was a good film. The one takeaway I took from it is something that always happens with these films set during the segregation era is, alright, for GCSE history, we studied the civil rights movement, but they don't really hammer home how fucked it was.
Yeah, and how recent it was.
Well, the recent thing, here's the thing, Rick, is it's not recent for the UK when it comes to racism against black people, because our racism is aimed towards Indian and Asian people.
Yes.
The film's called Green Book because there's a thing that existed called the Green Book, which is something African Americans would take with them when they basically visited states that weren't their own, and it was a list of establishments that were safe to stay in.
Oh boy.
And it's just like shit like that. You're like, I guess something like that would have had to existed, but you just don't think about it unless someone slams it in your face, which school did not.
No, they didn't. They don't go into the intricacies of exactly as you said. They don't hammer home how fucked it was.
What did we learn? We learned about Martin Luther King. We learned about Malcolm X. We learned about Rosa Parks. That's about it, really.
Speak for yourself. I only know about Rosa Parks from Sunday school.
Well, again, at GCSE, we had the Civil Rights Movement and Jack the Ripper, so fucking work that one out.
Yeah, I dropped it before GCSE. But even then, for us, GCSE would have been just mostly World War 1 and 2.
Here's the thing, Rick, is they don't teach you World War 1 and 2 during GCSE history because, and I quote, it's too easy, because it's too interesting. We have to make sure that you understand the academic part of answering historical questions and not the actual history, because that's what GCSE history is about. And yes, I did want to pull my fucking hair out.
Yeah.
You ready for some news?
Yeah, let's go.
The Wolverine and Deadpool trailer dropped.
Okay, yes. I've not seen the trailer, but I am excited for it.
Yeah, it looks good. The stupid cartoon Wolverine suit doesn't actually look that bad.
Man, we've even got a friend who's not been into Marvel for quite some time, actually looking like he's rather hyped for it as well.
I'm looking forward to it. Deadpool 2 was very disappointing to me, but this film looks like it might be a bit of fun.
I wasn't disappointed by Deadpool 2, but it released around the same time as Infinity War, so...
I was disappointed by it because the bar had been set and it did not clear the bar.
Yeah, fair enough.
Deadpool 1 was very fun. Deadpool 2 was fun, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah, it misses out the very, I guess.
Now, I've never watched Deadpool 2 again, I'll put it that way.
Sure, Deadpool 1, it has legs. Deadpool 2 is just a sequel, it feels, maybe?
Maybe. But yeah, this looks great. It appears that Wolverine is from a timeline where he fucked up.
Oh.
So that's an interesting addition. So yeah, I can't wait for this film. Apparently it's out in July, the tail end of July, basically.
Yeah, cool.
Rick, lately, there's been 2 memes on Twitter.
Oh, we've got memes today. What have we got?
One of them was, look between X and Y on your keyboard. Not literally, I'm using the mathematical equation, and it's just a massive fucking fucking clickbait farm. No one cares. It's annoying. I looked at it once and I went, I don't get it. This is silly, because people were being done with it and they just wanted people to click on their Twitter posts because that apparently matters. But more importantly, the other meme that's been born, which is much superior, is someone decided to Photoshop a picture of Foghorn Leghorn bitching at an anime character and saying, now why you gone done this, boy? And then someone replied, someone needs to do this for all anime, and here is this Twitter trend now born, this excellent meme of Foghorn Leghorn bitching at Vegeta saying, now why'd you go and do that, boy?
Yeah. It's the number of times that just applies to Vegeta. It's great.
Funniest one was probably him bitching at Light at the end of Death Note when he's dying, because I'm just like, what a time to have Foghorn Leghorn just fucking pop up and bitch at you. I'm dying, Foghorn. Well, that's just your problem now, boy. Just imagine Light's fucking grasping with death as Ryuk's laughing at him and Foghorn Leghorn's giving a lecture.
I've seen the template of this. It looks fantastic.
Rick, what are we doing today?
We're doing The Simpsons. We're doing Season 34, Episode 22, Homer's Adventures Through the Windshield Glass. This is the last one available on Disney Plus to date. So if you'd like to join along at home, it's 3, 2, 1, and go.
Here's the thing, Rick. I've not watched a new episode of The Simpsons in what feels like years. I can't believe how fancy the intro looks.
Yeah, like, you can see the CGI, and some of it's okay CGI.
Fuck me, is that Bart's fucking girlfriend from ever ago?
Yeah. And I think Lewis was in there, the one that looks like Akbar and Jeff. Hey, Larry Burns!
Was that Frank Grimes?
And I think Krusty's dad is definitely dead. But he was in there as well. Oh,
they got the Rolling Stones. I just saw Mick Jagger.
Well, I saw Dolly Parton.
So they just fucking crammed this intro full of random bullshit, eh?
I think they did. I think this might be one of those, like, X-100th episodes, which is why they're just putting as many characters as they can.
Maybe. There's old-timey Homer and Marge and future Lisa, so...
Yeah.
Oh, no, fucking... Wow.
That might even be future Maggie. Xena and Drederick Tatum's manager.
Yeah. Oh, 750th. There we go. Fuck me, Rick. I remember when they made a big deal out of the 300th.
Lucius Sweet.
Ah. Yeah, Don King.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, don't drive angry.
And put your seatbelt on.
Shouting gibberish. Oh, we get the subtitles now.
Ah, that's rather nice about Homer. From Homer.
Oh.
I'm not what you need, but I wish you well.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. We have the subtitles on and it came up on that, but I don't know if it would in the regular episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do this either!
Now, here's the thing, like, apparently this is what happens when you have a near-death experience, is your perception of time slows way the fuck down.
Yeah.
That does sound like something Homer would do, though. Oh, you don't want shatterproof glass in your fucking vehicle. We learnt that from the Cybertrucks.
Yeah.
Well, we learnt that before Cybertrucks, but Elon Musk knows better.
Yeah, like the reason you want crumpled zones in your car is so that you're not just driving a hunk of iron that transmits Bart's bald mommy.
I'm going to assume that that's a voice that most people up on this current zeitgeist will recognise.
Yeah, it's... I can't remember who it was, but yes, it was someone who was a big deal at the time. This might even have been before the controversy with Lizzo, so it might be Lizzo.
Oh, no. Man, when you first ever watched your first episode of The Simpsons, Rick, did you ever think you'd get to the point where this would be a plot point?
I don't think so. Like the last time we had something like this, it was the clip show where he's in a coma.
Yeah, but that was like season 9.
Yeah. So it's come to this, a Simpsons clip show.
I remember the episode where they did a singing one, and it was a clip show, and at the end it's like, sorry for doing a lousy clip show. Okay, so what was wifey hitting?
Hmm.
I was going to say, did you even meet her dad?
Yeah, I remember the past episode where he talks about, when I saw that Simpson boy, it took years off my life.
So wait, up until now, Marge has been getting $1,000 a month for life.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Yeah, which in the 70s was a massive deal. These days, I mean, it would change my life to a small degree, but
it explains a lot of why Marge has always been not that worried when Homer does weird shit.
Yeah, because she's been able to buy groceries with her dad's will.
Now, here's the thing. We know Homer Simpson well enough because we've known Homer Simpson for most of our lives, Rick. We know that not trusting Homer Simpson with $1,000 extra a month is absolutely the correct thing to do.
Oh, totally, absolutely. I think someone calculated that he probably is on an incredibly good salary, and that's why he can afford to do the stupid things that they do.
I mean, we know he's on a good salary because he had to give up his dream job to go back there.
Yeah.
Don't forget, do it for her.
He's gonna start going wee, isn't he? Oh, no, he didn't.
I'm expecting him to pick up that burger and try and start eating it. Oh, there you go. That's fucking disgusting.
I also find it hard to believe that there's unfinished food.
Dickhead. Oh, that ain't right. Ah, okay. There we go. Lisa wasn't that smart when she was a kid. They've totally retconned that.
Yeah. Because you're an oaf. I do like that little bit of Bart doing a Marge impression.
Did he just go in for a choke?
Yeah, he did.
I thought he didn't do that no more. I thought he weren't allowed.
Yeah, but it's not a real Bart, so... Man, that's such a Homer thing for him to imagine.
Ugh. Oh wow, you can really hear the voice actress cannot do that voice anymore.
Yeah, she's not doing well anymore.
I can't fucking blame her. She's been doing this for fucking ever.
Yeah.
Like, if I recall, the fucking... the story goes that the reason why she got the voice in the first place is because she was incredibly ill when she read for the part. And they said, keep doing that voice.
Yeah. But then eventually, as time mixes us all, it ended up being her normal voice as she was talking.
Mm. Okay, so it's definitely a singer, so maybe it is Rizzo, but I don't actually know what that woman sounds like, because I've only heard her once, and that was during the Star Wars episode, and that was
the Star Wars episode,
ago.
Yeah. Where Jack Black got so horny for Lizzo that he stopped being a bastard.
Didn't work on, I've forgotten his name. Doc Brown.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like they're trying to beat us with some kind of morality lesson stick here, but it doesn't work because it's Homer.
Yeah, like, we know that any emotions he's going to have is going to be coming from a place of stupidity at best.
I really don't like calling people bitch.
I mean, I don't mind it, but...
No, I know, but it's just such a weird word. I'm going to guess Marge's dad specified you can't tell Homer about it.
Maybe. Probably specified that she can't marry him.
Who cares? He's been dead for ages.
I think he used to have blue hair as well. I don't know why he's a ginger. Unless maybe the blue was shorthand for him being grey. He looks a bit like Nelson.
He looks like Chief Wiggum, actually, but... So essentially, he gave her the $1,000 a month after he died because he didn't believe Homer would be able to provide for her.
Yeah, so it would seem. Aww.
Shut up. I hate all of this.
Yeah, there's a lot of just there to be dramatic. Hey, Red Heaven.
Fuck me, I ain't seen this character in ages.
Hey, what's it?
Oh, shut up. This is why a lot of religions are stupid.
Yeah. Hey, Marilyn Monroe and Frank
Hey!
Grimes.
That's not true. In Greece, it wasn't condemned.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean,
unless you were the bottom, in which case, yeah.
yeah. That's what I was gonna say. It wasn't gay if you were giving.
Yeah. These are some fun demon designs.
They look very Futurama-ish.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Why is he playing poker with Stalin and Genghis Khan?
Maybe he's the dealer. I don't know. Tom Selleck. I remember having a checkbook.
I never had a checkbook. Before my time. God, that actually seems like a real bad one. The cheese grater on the back.
Mm.
We all know that.
Yeah.
We all know that guy. Okay. Wow, how the fuck is Santa's little helper still alive?
Um, like Snowball 2 being Snowball 32.
Hmm.
Yeah, he might be. Well, it's also 20,000 years later, according to the cut.
This is true. Yeah, if only, innit?
Hmm.
The visuals of hell were quite interesting, but for fuck's sake, this episode's a real fucking mess.
It is. Ralph knows.
That's this month's $1,000 paying for the ambulance bill.
Hmm.
Oh, Marge, Maggie talks now, does she?
Another Maggie word. Well, yeah, I think the reason that Gooby Woo's name is Gooby Woo is because that's the only noise that Maggie can make.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way that he's actually saying that, yeah. Money.
I don't... Oh, right, okay, I guess it is money. I thought the joke was actually going to be that we don't know if morphine will fuck him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now we find out, eventually.
Come on. Yeah, Lizzo, there you go.
Yeah.
Before they found out about the bananas in vaginas.
Bananas and vagina. Yeah.
Well, that's the story. I didn't make it up.
It sounds so whimsical, and yet it's an actual problem.
I'm sure there are some people who really think that to get sound effects in cartoons and shows, they have to do the actual thing, and have never heard of a Foley artist.
Yeah. It's actually kind of fun watching Foley artists being filmed.
Well, I like the story of the one guy who's a really good Foley artist, but everyone doesn't like working with him because what happens is he specializes in horror sound effects, and what happens is when they go, we need horror effects for this, and this. And he went, okay, don't worry about it, and then he fucks off to the woods for 2 weeks with a bunch of meat.
Yeah.
But it really tickles me that it's like, no, he scares us, but damn, is he good at his job.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot you can do with a bit of meat, just for the sheer visceralness of it.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh. I like how they've got to do in these foreign languages Lizzo played by XYZ, because they can't have Lizzo be Lizzo. Because she can't speak Deutsch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I assume she can't, considering she didn't voice herself.
Yeah, I'm assuming not. Well, I tell this story every time, but even Arnie gets dubbed over in German.
Yeah, because he's got a country hick accent in German.
Yeah.
It's
just like David Prowse doing Vader.
It's the exact same thing.
Meet your father.
And the thing is, though, is we take the piss and do the farmer voice when we mention that story, but he didn't have that broad of that thick of an accent.
Yeah, the other thing that he was known for was Green Cross, the Green Cross Code Man, and even that got dubbed over.
It's like how the Hound from Game of Thrones, he was known as the Porridge Oat Man for a long time before he got that role.
Porridge Oat Man.
Well, because that's who he was. He was the face of Porridge Oats.
Yeah, fair enough. I also recently learned on a Reddit tangent dive about savoury porridge.
What does this mean, Rick?
That apparently it's not even a new thing, because oatmeal is just a rebrand of gruel to begin with anyway, and gruel is typically a savoury thing, but people are just essentially rediscovering making gruel taste good by putting things in it, like bacon grease and bacon.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So Rick, that was an episode, what did you think?
It got a couple of chuckles out of me, but it's unfortunate to say this is probably one of the high points of what zombie Simpsons is these days, that you can get a couple of chuckles out of it, but it's not going to be a perfect episode by any means, although at least they did keep it together for the most part. How about you? What do you think?
Yeah, this was by no means a good episode of The Simpsons by my standard of good episode of Simpsons. I'll be honest with you, I didn't actually enjoy watching it. Like, as you say, it had good moments. The intro was fun, where it's like, oh, look at all the characters. Do you remember this guy? I remember that guy. And they had that throughout, especially with the Hell sequence, which was interesting and fun. It was like, there's the psychiatrist whose name actually escapes me, but you know the one.
Dr. Marvin Monroe.
That's the one. You saw Frank Grimes. I like the fact that Frank Grimes was in Hell, saw Homer, but didn't react.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get to our usual wind down, because I won't beat around the bush, Rick. I wasn't high on this episode. I think you could probably feel that vibe from me throughout. So, do you have a favourite moment?
It was very early on in the opening credits when we realised they're sort of shoving in a load of people into this, and oh man, it became an actual fun little challenge to see the most obscure characters that you could find in the opening. They did a very good opening for this 750th episode spectacular, and I was all here for it.
It's hard to disagree with any of that. Like, it was probably the most animated I was during the episode. It was like, oh, it's that guy, oh, it's the Rolling Stones.
But yeah, how about you? What was your favourite moment?
Oh, definitely going to Hell. They did a really good job of just actually making Hell look like a place. We've seen Hell before in The Simpsons. It seems the demons have still got the same general shape and vibe. They just look a bit more detailed.
Yeah, we've seen it in Robot Hell as well, because I think they've taken a few cues from that, at least, because they've designed Hell once already.
Yeah, but they designed Hell before when we covered that part of The Simpsons once, because we spoke about it during one of our Simpsons dives where Homer had his head turned into a donut.
They're no strangers to making cartoon graining Hell. It was nice to see another take on that.
But anyway, Rick, we can't talk about the good, we also have to talk about the bad. Do you have a weakest link?
Zombie Simpsons. Just the fact that everything is just like a self-referential vampire of itself. Homer never learns anything, actively gets dumber every time. Like, they pointed it out in an episode where they made fun of it and said, no, he's always been stupid, but it's just so frustrating that he can't just have a moment to be introspective and go, yeah, actually, I know I've been a prick. Homer has just become too much of a Peter Griffin.
I mean, it became... it's not named after Homer, of course, but like The Simpsons is the birthing of the trope name Flanderization, and it's never been more in full effect.
Yeah. Sometimes Flanderization works well, like Ned Flanders, because it's funny. Sometimes Flanderization does not work well, in case of, like, for instance, right now, Homer, because it seems like they've just removed all of his depth.
It's one of those where, like, the entire main cast being Flanderized is a sin, in my opinion. But no one gets it worse than Lisa.
Yeah, totally.
Lisa used to be a fun character because she was flawed. Now she sucks because she is the moral soapbox of the episode and can never be wrong.
Yeah. I'd like to say she's like the Brian Griffin, but even then, they take shots at Brian.
Brian's more insufferable, at least.
Yeah, he's definitely more insufferable. And he's definitely more openly flawed. But with Lisa, they try and put that on a pedestal. Enough of me moaning. How about you? What was your weakest link?
Oh, Gooby Goo.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, you could have... Like, I get it. They like their guest star spots. And I'm not even going to slag Lizzo off because I don't really care. Obviously, now in hindsight, it's like Lizzo turns out to have been a horrible human being, allegedly. I don't think that ever actually got proven or disproven. So in my mind, she made people do things they didn't want to do. Which, in my opinion, is SA. But whatever.
Yeah, that's bad enough. Even without any other opinions.
Even without that being the case, it was just, here's this character we've invented. It's the manifestation of Maggie's doll, and she's going to beat us over the head with this moral lesson. Maybe people have reason to hide things from other people. And it's like, yeah, that's a fair lesson. But they're like, you're wrong for even questioning this.
Yeah.
And also, you've got the follow-up of that, the fucking 1-2 punch of, this is all being thrown at Homer, who's a fucking idiot anyway. And the lesson's not going to stick in universe, so who is this for?
Yeah, because he's just he's had head trauma, and just as like every other episode where it gets forgotten the moment the episode's over, unless it's like a Sideshow Bob episode, like, yeah, the episode might as well not have happened.
Like, I think that was the only time in Simpsons, well, at least the first time in Simpsons history where I was like, oh, things are persistent in the universe, was the second time Sideshow Bob showed up. Because, yeah, that's been a problem with Simpsons forever, but it's not even exclusive to the Simpsons. It's any cartoon which you can watch in any order, is everything needs to be back to the status quo by the end of the episode.
Yeah, I think Family Guy broke that slightly with the one where they killed like a third of the cast.
Oh, right, yeah, but that was like a hard reset of the universe, because that was the James Wood one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was I think it was the last James Woods episode.
Well, yeah, because he fucking died.
Yeah, he dies. Diane Simmons gets taken off air because she's the one that does all the murders. Mort's wife Muriel is also one of the people that gets killed.
Yeah, and then there was 2 more people who got killed, but they were just like inconsequential dates anyway, so it was very weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I get you. Yeah, I wasn't high on this at all. I've not watched quote-unquote zombie Simpsons before, and it's a real raw fucking deal, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's try and end on a highlight. Rick, who gets your MVP?
It's going to be Clancy Bouvier, voiced by Harry Shearer, because he's a character who could have been built up a lot more than he ever has been, and, given more lore, but all we know from him is that he doesn't like Homer, and that he was a flight attendant.
But, he didn't even, from the interactions Homer provides us, he always said, don't hit my butt on the way out. It's it seems that despite not liking Homer and being open to Marge about not approving of her decision to marry him, he was still civil with him.
Yeah, we even saw it in the way that he, was hugging Marge and saying, yeah, he's found true love with an absolute fucking buffoon. He accepts that she loves him, and that's probably enough for a family to move on from and grow from. And that if he was still alive today, he might have actually mellowed out a lot and just been maybe a bit more deadpan, but a cool grandpa.
Well, when his competition is Abe.
But yes, how about you? Who gets your MVP?
It's a bit of a tough one, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's a tough one to give it to anyone.
I don't think the writing was good. The characters feel like husks of their former selves. I didn't appreciate the guest star, and that one might be on me. The entire concept was the epitome of Simpsons silliness, and not in a good way. I guess I'll give it to Ralph because he got a chuckle out of me the first time he made his joke, but then he made the joke 3 more times, making me sick of him.
Yeah, I think that my favourite Ralph joke in this one was, you died and went to hell, Ralph knows.
Yeah, I'll give it to Ralph, but it's a real begrudging MVP.
Yep, yeah, I get you.
So on that bombshell, we're done for today. That's an episode... Is that the first? No, it's not. We did a Christmas one, didn't we, once?
Yeah, we did The Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire.
Which was a much better episode.
Oh, yeah. And we also did a retro of pick a Simpsons episode that you like and do a retro on it.
One day we should do a Simpsons retro. It's pick 2 episodes after episode 300.
Yeah, pick 2 episodes that you hate.
Oh, God. Yeah, no, that'll be its own set of challenges. But yes, thanks for joining us as always, guys. Next week we're officially in May, so you know what that means.
Remember, the 4th will be with you.
Exactly. Unfortunately, the 4th won't be the first date. We miss out by a couple of days. Thanks for joining us as always. We've got the comment section down below if you want to give us your thoughts on this episode of Simpsons, or give us suggestions for the future. As you know, next week we're starting our month of space shit, but we like to call it a Star Wars thing. That's our big funny haha.
Yep.
Alternatively, we know you're not all listening via YouTube. Some of you listening via many of our audio platforms. Those of you can send us an email instead at nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
I'm
getting all my words wrong today, Rick, aren't I?
Oh, it's okay. We've got all the words. They just don't come out in the right order.
Ha! See you next week, guys.
Bye.